Mr. Young and FRGN.
Kick to the gut!
Your podcast sucks!
No! Tell me it isn't true. This is the final episode of Kick to the Gut. But for this season only, relax. What's up? It's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building. I mean, guys, we also need to take our 14 days leave, you know. Last 2 weeks, need to let us rest,
Hey, this season of Kick to the Gut has been the longest running season. You know how every year in Raw they will say like, oh, longest running episodic television show. I feel like we are this year the longest running episodic podcast.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, right off the back, I need to tell you my what do you call it, my catchphrase, right?
Your catchphrase.
45 episodes, bro. I mean, we started this season in January, right before the Royal Rumble. Do you remember that, bro?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so this is the first podcast where we actually started the season at the start of the year and ended at the end of the year, because usually we always start like midway, blah 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 here and there, but really we committed the whole year, one season, bro.
Yes, we did. And you know what? It doesn't even feel like it, right? It feels weird now that we're actually going to take a 2-week break just to refresh the stream, refresh the content. And talking about content, guys, we have so much in store for 2022. 2022 is going to be the year of Kick to the Gut. You're going to hear so much from us. You'll be like, I'm sick of these two jabronis already.
Yeah, man. 2022, I only got one resolution, bro.
What's that?
To improve my internet connection.
Okay, we are starting up a Patreon page now so that we can help FRGN fix his internet connection, get a better one. Thank you very much.
Wow. Are we right off the bat, we're going to announce that? I mean, we'll tell you guys more, but seriously, we are starting a Patreon page for next season onwards.
Yes.
But it's not just to pay for my internet. It's actually to give you guys more bonus content. And we want to like freshen up this YouTube page and to make it cool. You know, we want to make it like What Culture or Cultaholic and all those cool YouTube wrestling channels.
Bro, I was kayfabing why you shoot. See, I was kayfabing, now you go and shoot, now everyone knows the truth. Bro, you must protect the industry, bro.
Bro, I work myself into a shoot, bro. This is like the Singapore screw job, bro.
Okay, talking about the Singapore screw job, I was watching the... oh, no, never mind. I was going to go there and then I was like, wait a minute, people might misconstrue. Anyway, I spent the whole weekend watching YouTube.
Is it? Well, I don't think you're watching it because of F1 or UFC.
No.
I saw your IG story, bros.
Yeah. You know exactly what I was watching. Anyway, those who know, I'll leave it as that. It's like, I'm being AEW now. I'm just going to leave it out there. Don't need to explain. If you know, you know. Anyway, what's up? Hey, we wouldn't be where we are or doing what we do because... you guys, if not for you guys, okay? So down in chat right now, I want to say hello to Edison, Muhammad Daniel, Irvin, Rishi, Hillary, what's up? Hidayas, good to see you. Yeah, man, it is popping up in the chat. Y'all talking about F1. F1 yesterday, more like WWE. Okay, so I didn't really catch the drama. I know some of my group chats were popping off about F1. Can you explain to me what happened? FRGN, do you know what happened?
I mean, I have a very working knowledge because clearly F1 is not my field of expertise.
No, neither is it mine, yeah.
Yes, but from what I understand, the winner of yesterday's F1 Grand Prix was Max Verstappen.
Yes, that's right.
And apparently he won the entire season. So I think the season finale, it's not just Kick to the Gut season finale, it was the F1 Formula season finale for this year as well.
Okay.
And then apparently towards the end, like the final lap, they had like a safety car. Guys, please correct me on the chat if I'm wrong. They had a safety car, but I think there's a rule where you can't like overlap during a safety car round.
Yeah, everyone's
like that.
Yeah, safety car is there to just keep the cars running, but you're not allowed to overtake anybody.
Yes, so apparently this happened at the final lap, like the final safety car lap, right before the final lap. This Max Verstappen guy kind of like overlapped Lewis Hamilton, I believe.
What?
Yeah, I believe so. So now they are contesting the ending. They're saying that this is a very controversial ending. This shouldn't have flew. I don't know whether Red Bull is like not happy with Mercedes or like Mercedes is like not happy with Red Bull. Whatever it is, there's drama there.
So are they going to go to like court? Is there going to be a committee of privileges sit down? I ask you 10,000 questions, that kind of thing.
Bro, you just blew your cover on what you were watching over the weekend.
No, not that. Totally different ideas. Two totally different things. Why? See, you again, working us into a shoot.
No, I am, bro. I am. What do you call it? Implicating you. You might have to tender your resignation to Kick to the Gut, bro.
Hey, I don't know about that. The fans will get me back, okay? The fans every week will chant Mr. Young like they did for Matt Hardy. Remember that? Anyway.
No. Then they will go to me and they will go to my DMs and say, "You screwed Young. You screwed Young."
Okay, we've been clearly watching too much WWE or pro wrestling.
Of course. And of course, at the end of the year, there's going to be roundups. There's going to be a best of list.
Yeah.
Like some of the major publications, they haven't released it yet.
Yeah.
Probably because they're waiting for winter is coming to see the end of that.
Relax. Nothing big will happen.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
Say only. Jin Long, how are you doing, by the way? Jin Long says Max screwed Max.
Oh, is it? Which F1 race was this held at? Was it Abu Dhabi? For those who know?
Do you want to call it the Abu Dhabi screw job? Like the Montreal screw job?
Can lah, but I think over there not halal to do screw jobs. So.
Oh, Irvin says, and then Latifi says, I did it for Max. I did it for the people.
I love how our chat is like popping off all the WWE wrestling references.
Okay, bro. Next one, next thing we do is F1 podcast already. Let's go. You know a bit, I know nothing. Let's go from there.
We will be the most non-knowledgeable F1 commentators out there.
Maybe we can list that podcast under comedy. Then we just talk shit. Hey, this fella, like a bit yentao, handsome. I think he will win.
The blue car overtake the red car. That one Mazda, is it? That one Mazda.
Hey, no, red cars are supposed to be faster, okay? Red is a color of speed.
Okay. Promotion for Tesla to be next season's F1.
Actually, they have a, well, isn't it E1 or they have a league where it's all electric one.
Oh, really? So there's such a thing.
Yeah, and the best thing, because my dad loves, like, I'm a disappointment to my father. He is F1 like super fan. I don't know shit about cars or F1, right? But
he's a car crazy guy.
He's a car crazy guy. So he also watches like the electric version of F1.
Yeah.
You know how in F1 you hear vroom, vroom, the roar of the engine shook, right?
Yeah.
The electric one is
because so small.
Electric cars got no sound, right?
So if like the F1 is like the big fat cats, then the electric one is like the baby cats.
Like the legit one can sneak one.
Oh, I love how we went on like maybe a 2-3 minute tangent on non-wrestling news or non-wrestling content at all.
But somehow we managed to link it back to wrestling. So we are still par for the course. It's okay. Everybody, I hope you're having a great start to the week. Okay, the end of the year is here. Like we mentioned earlier, we're taking a 2-week break to refresh things, also to refresh ourselves as well. So first and foremost, we want to wish you a happy end of the year, happy festive season. If you're celebrating Christmas and all that, hey, please spend it with friends and family and surround yourself with lots of love and joy, but don't surround yourself with too many people because Omicron.
Yes, that's true. Please, guys, stay away from the crowds. I hear in Orchard, very, very the crowded. Every time I take a Grab, the Grab always complain. I hope you're not going to Orchard. Hope you're not going to town because it's really, really troublesome for them. Bro,
Thursday I'm going to town now because Spider-Man No Way Home, bro.
Ooh, watching it on IMAX?
No, just regular cinema theater. But oh my god, the hype, bro, the hype. Right?
Yeah, man. That's the hype is one thing. Secondly, like the lack of discretion online. IGN keep dropping so many extended clips. I'm very annoyed,
I think to me what it is too is this is what like WWE loves to do during the Hall of Fame. See, I'm gonna link it. This is still a wrestling podcast. It's like you have your Roman Reigns, but then you bring back The Rock and you bring back the head shrinkers because all same, different but same. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you mean. I mean, you got to bring in the familiar faces to bring in the drawback, the casual fans.
Yeah, and then bring back the legends, like Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Sandman, and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and all that. Actually, we don't even know if they're going to show up.
Allegedly, as Bruce Pritchard would say, allegedly.
Yeah. So exciting times this end of the year. So we certainly want to wish you the best this end of the year, bro. As Triple H would say, are you ready?
No, I've said, are you ready?
Then, for the dozens
In attendance.
And for the tens of dozens listening at home.
And for everyone going shopping or watching Spider-Man this whole week, please, safety distancing.
Yeah, let's do it lah. Let's do it lah. Okay.
Wait.
What? Let's get ready to
suck it.
And kick guts, bro. Kick guts.
Yeah, okay.
Let's get ready to kick to the gut. Okay, here we go. It's been a good year for wrestling, I would say. Especially after 2020. Let's face it, 2020, huge downer. It's nobody's fault. It's the pandemic's fault, right?
Yes.
2021, especially in the US, they started opening things up. You get people in there, you get fans, the universe in there, and all of a sudden, everything starts becoming more exciting again. People can travel again. And I mean, we rode through 2020 to see everything just pop off in 2021. What a joy, right?
Yes, definitely. And to see a lot of payoffs, because a lot of like returns, a lot of surprises, everything was safe for when fans came back to the arenas. And I think we got rewarded. I think for those who definitely watched wrestling through the pandemic and stayed loyal, I think we were rewarded this year. And that's so heartening for all of us.
Okay, so let's jump into it. And thank you so much for all your votes, by the way, on Instagram, on IGTV. We had like a record number of votes.
Yes, correct. From what I remember, it was 142, but I round out to 150 votes. But you know what I mean? That is more than the number of people that watch the podcast on a weekly basis. So I'm very, very happy that, you guys kind of came through and gave us your votes.
I was going to compare it to the last time we did these awards, which was 2019. And yeah, it's way, way more than 2019's voting number. So thank you. We appreciate it. Sir Hus, good to see you as well. Here we go, the Kick to the Gut Awards. Let's start the first category. And I have to say this about this first category, right? I'm not surprised at the result. But also, this is a very scary thing. This is, like we've been talking about it all year. We've been saying WWE doesn't seem to be able to build a new star. And this category highlights this glaringly, don't you think?
Oh, yes, for sure. You know, I was, like you said, certain things didn't surprise me. Certain things like kind of like validated what I thought. But my gosh, like, it's very interesting when you do polls and surveys to kind of like see the landscape where everyone's minds are at.
So the category we're talking about is the WWE Superstar of the Year. And without giving away the winner, let me just say, this is a landslide. The landslides of all landslides. And let's do the honorable mentions. Because honestly, everybody else is at an honorable mention. There literally is nobody who's close to the top guy. And that's the bad thing, isn't it? That, like I said, highlights the problem of WWE. They can't build new stars. So let's go. The big booty nephew is in there with an honorable mention. Okay. I don't know how you could vote for him. He only has been on our TV screens for like a month.
You're talking about Braun Breaker?
Yes, right. That's right. Yes, the big booty daddy. Big booty nephew. There you go. Liv Morgan. Okay, somebody thirsty. Kyle O'Reilly. Dante Chen. That one, was it you, Edison? I swear that one must have been you, lah.
You know what? I'm not surprised, bro. I mean, there's somebody gonna be rapping the local guy.
Okay, sure. Austin Theory. Okay, I can see that. That one, future of WWE. Bianca Belair, Lashley, Riddle, Becky Lynch. I don't believe Becky Lynch is a special mention. She only came back like later half of the year. So
yeah, for those listening, when we say special mention, right, is they got one vote.
Yeah, one, maybe. Actually, yeah, one. I'm looking at the numbers. It's one.
Literally one vote.
And even Big E.
Yes.
Just a few votes only. And I'm very shocked nobody mentioned Drew McIntyre. The fall of Drew McIntyre. This is so sad. I wish we did these awards last year. Maybe Drew McIntyre would have won.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's crazy because clearly we took a break. Last year we didn't do any NRD awards. But in 2019, I still remember very clearly a lot of people actually voted for Seth Rollins.
Okay.
And he is not on this list at all.
Is it because he's too much of a side character? Now, when you think of one or the other end of the spectrum, this one person has just been too dominant already.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I mean, and okay, you guys know already, as some of you have even put it in chat, but the winner, the WWE Superstar of the Year is... Oh. That's my rendition of his intro. Is your tribal chief a resounding landslide of voters have acknowledged Roman Reigns.
Are you even shocked, my brother?
No, I'm not shocked. And he deserved this. But like I said, the fact that it's not even close, there is no second, there's no third, he won this by a landslide, tells me that there's no other competition.
Yes. And the crazy thing was, like you said, it is a landslide. Like everyone else that we mentioned only got 1 vote.
Yeah.
Big E, I believe, only got 2 votes. And he is a very, very distant second.
Yeah.
This is like if like Barcelona from 10 years ago dominated the La Liga and like everyone else was like 20 points behind.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, so this is an indictment of the state of the WWE where there is no clear second. Like imagine if we did this poll during the Attitude Era. Stone Cold and Rock, I'm sure will have the majority of the votes. And maybe even Triple H and stuff like that. Maybe we did this during the
Ruthless Aggression. Randy
Orton, Batista. Like there were several stars. It wasn't just one star. This generation or this era, whatever they're going to call it, is going to have a problem trying to find who is the second or third or fourth.
Yeah. No, because they bungled a lot of potential number 1 stars. When I say bungle, right, clearly when they were introduced, there's a lot of potential. They could have been like at the top tier, like the front tier. I'm talking about guys like Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, even someone like Seth Rollins. They bungled to a certain extent, and the stars that they kicked out, the Fiend.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
Even someone like Adam Cole, I swear, could have come in and you just play him off as a cerebral sort of a superstar and have him in title contention because he keeps cheating to win.
Yeah, so it's the same issue with the Cena era. Like Cena was always the clear number. He was always pushed. Out not until perhaps like a Punk or Daniel Bryan came along to the picture that you felt like okay, there's other stars that they were being built.
Keith Lee, another one, yes.
Keith Lee, another one, completely bungled. And what I was thinking of, like when Big E was number 2, right? I think that's more of a issue with timing. I'm trying to look at the positive sides that in the new year, 2022 will be a huge year for Big E where he kind of gets back up to that level. And of course, Drew McIntyre as well. Come on.
Okay, I'm very surprised that Brock Lesnar is not more featured on this voting as well. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he just came back. We're looking at 2021 as a whole, and if you think about Brock Lesnar's contribution, quote unquote, and he's also like a part-timer, So I probably because of that reason, I find it hard for him to stand out in this list.
And I believe actually, right, the guy who I was quite surprised that it's not on this list, Bobby Lashley, bro.
Oh, Lashley got mentioned.
Yes, mentioned. That means he only got one vote, right? For a guy who was very dominant, the moment he lost the title, he kind of dropped very quickly as well.
It's the same with Drew lah. So they gave them title reigns. They were the champions, but then they didn't become superstars. They didn't take it, quote unquote, the next step to, become that dominant champion or whatever it is. So let me say hello to Pascal as well. The Shadow, what's up? Welcome to the live stream, the podcast and everything. So are you surprised that more women weren't mentioned? Okay, I'm giggling because Jin Long mentioned, thank God no one voted Goldberg.
Hey, come on, Jin Long. Goldberg had a banner 2021, bro.
Bro, group of the year should be Goldberg and Youngberg. And Sunberg, I mean.
Hey, what happened to Sunberg? Sunberg died already.
Yeah, he black already. So are you surprised no women have? Well, I mean, there are 1 or 2 women that made the list, but they aren't ranked higher.
I mean, I would say Bianca, Sasha being on the list was kind of expected, but the fact that I think Bianca was another one that was bungled with her push.
Okay, what is it about Sasha Banks though? Do you get the feeling that even though she's there, she's a competent worker, she generates pops, people are excited to see her, she just doesn't seem top star to me. When she's there, is it because she's always like taking extended breaks, she's always disappearing for a while? What is it about Sasha Banks, bro? Do you feel the same way as I do?
Bro, she suffers from what I call The Cody problem.
Okay. Are you sure?
Okay, hear me
Cody
out.
has a lot of problems, bro.
Yeah, that's true. But the problem I'm talking about specifically, she's not there enough for the fans to feel that she has like a banner year.
Okay.
It's either when she drops the title, she just disappears for a while. Like you said, and then when she comes back, she's also suffering from like potentially she keeps turning heel and face so many times.
Yes, true. Well, that's not a Cody problem because I will not turn.
He refuses to turn. but yeah, this thing is very hard for you to keep a connection. Like at least for Becky Lynch, for example, when she turns heel, I know she'll commit for a while. If she's a face, she'll commit for a while.
Yep.
Becky, how many times can you name that she has turned heel and face this last 2 years alone?
I mean, to be honest, she's only ever turned heel. And then people bought the heel gimmick and that made her de facto face. But the character, see, here's the thing. The character didn't change, right? When she first slapped Charlotte, that was her heel turn. But fans loved it. So they went with it, Unlike a certain neck tattoo guy who won't go with the crowd, but we'll save that for later on the show because we're definitely talking about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, but you know what? To wrap up on the WWE wrestler superstar of the year, Roman Reigns. Like, why is he well deserved? His reign has been outstanding, and I think he justified turning heel.
Yes. But like I said, he deserves it, but also this highlights a very big problem that nobody else is even in his league. If you don't find somebody in his league, then you won't be able to generate big star matches. You won't have your Austin Rocks, your Sean Bretts, your Randy Cena's. Like, where is the Cena to the Randy? Where is the Rock to the Austin? He needs that one guy. It's not Brock. Brock is a part-timer. He's a one-off.
Yeah, that's true. And clearly they've trying to build Drew McIntyre last year. They're building Big E this year. But you're right. The next question I would ask is, how long before his run starts to turn stale? When there's no legitimate challenges.
Yeah.
Right now, I think it's still okay.
Yeah.
But I think going to the new year, I think by WrestleMania season,
he has to drop He has to drop it already by WrestleMania.
Yeah. I have an early prediction or something that I would like to see. I wouldn't mind seeing Brock Lesnar win the title in day one.
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
Just to keep it interesting, having a baby face Lesnar running with the title, and then a heel Roman chasing the title to WrestleMania season.
And then what? Roman wins it again? And then he carries the title throughout the rest of 2022.
Roman wins LOL.
Oh my God.
It's like the new Cena wins LOL meme.
Okay, you know what? If he wins it, it'll pile more heat on him for the next guy who beats him. Who that is, who the hell knows? I don't know who they have on their mind, but it doesn't seem like they have anybody. Maybe Braun Breaker will come out and all of a sudden be like, like, you're ready, okay, go.
Look to WWE to push Braun Breaker to the main roster, like post WrestleMania. I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. So, okay, I know this is a little bit early to do, right? But let's just ruminate. Let's just guess. And Chad, please join in doing this. So we looked at the quote-unquote WWE Superstar of the Year. Who do you think that will be next year?
Man.
Who is on your radar? Who do you think in 2022 is destined for big things in the WWE?
Honestly, I'm looking to Big E to really elevate himself to the next level. He can. He has it in him to be that guy. Other than that, Austin Theory, honestly, with the way Vince McMahon has been holding him and getting him involved, I mean, despite how weird and awkward those segments are,
I can get him over.
He is the last person I'm going to get over before I die.
Oh God, Edison Dante Chen, of course, bro, of course. Next year, all gonna release. Yeah, WWE no stuff already. Only got Vince and Austin Theory skits every Raw 3 hours. Let's go. Vince and Austin Theory go fishing. Vince and Austin Theory go to gym.
I like what Pascal said.
What?
Potential to become another Triple H reign of terror if they don't find a capable adversary for Roman. Triple H also suffered from that.
Yep, that's true. Now, here's the problem with Brock Lesnar winning the title, right? And it makes a lot of sense if he were to win the title at day one. At least you give him a 3-month reign before WrestleMania. If you give him the win at WrestleMania, then like, what, are you gonna have him like hang around for a bit? and drop it to Roman Reigns again down the road. Like, that doesn't make sense. So I actually like your theory very, very much. Day one, start the new year off with a huge face win.
Yeah. The problem with Brock Lesnar, as fun as his character is now, and bro, trust me, I've been enjoying everything he's been doing with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Love it. But we know he's very predictable. We know his schedule.
Yeah.
He can't stay for long.
Yeah. He's very settled as a person, right? He doesn't care, like, oh, I need to be here for the whole of the year. No, he's gonna fuck off and go hunting. He even incorporates that into his promos, which is great. That's very him.
Yeah, and another thing that's very him, the fact I can imagine Brock Lesnar still using a flip phone in this era.
Yes, that's quite funny. So, next year, do you think is the year of Big E? What about the women? Liv Morgan, perhaps. They tried to push this Liv versus Becky, like Lita versus Trish. And somebody asked me this while I was streaming on Twitch, right? Like, while I get the reference and inference because there's history there, I don't think it's the same vibe because at that point, Trish versus Lita, I remember this because I lived through this because, I'm that old, right? The two of them had been building momentum as individual characters. Whereas here, I feel like one is completely over the other. Like, Liv is not at Becky Lynch's level.
No. Whatever they did with Liv to me was like a test run to see whether she can hang with Becky. But you know what? If Liv was being pushed at WrestleMania season to win the title, I wouldn't mind because that would have given her enough time to build more crowd support. The more the crowd gets like what they want swept from under the rug, and they can't and she keeps losing the opportunities, right? The more they'll probably build. So it's very much like a yes movement situation. I would say Trish and Lita is much more similar to a Charlotte and Becky.
Okay.
Nice. All right, because at least both of them are established.
Right. Irvin says, by the way, are we going to see a Brock and Bear Grylls? Bro, I want to see Brock versus a bear, not Bear Grylls. Okay?
Bro, Brock versus Moose.
Oh, gosh. Wow, that would entail Moose having to come over to the WWE. And we all know they're not hiring. They're only hiring young, non-wrestlers, people who don't even want to be wrestlers. Did you read about the Next in Line initiative or some shit like that Triple H is now heading up?
Yeah, what was that all about?
So essentially, they're going around courting athletes who may or may not even care to be a wrestler and trying to get them in the industry. So it's like, you are getting a bunch of non-wrestlers, people who don't really want, and you're just going to entice them, i.e. give them a lot of money to be wrestlers. It's like, what are you guys doing?
So sounds like insurance, bro.
No, that's not.
They're trying to recruit people who don't know anything about the industry, trying to sell them on the perks of it.
Sure. But this reminds me of I work in radio, right? And it's happened many, many times. I've seen it happen many, many times. And it's failed many, many times where people try to, I'm going to court actors and actresses to be radio DJ. But then they never had the passion for it. They never had a like for it. And they don't last. The only person who lasted was Jamie O, if you remember that era, my era. Everybody else, they tried to bring in, didn't work. They left within half a year.
So Jamie Yo was like, they were doing some like star search for radio or something like that?
No. They just wanted to find people for radio and they were like, let's look at pretty actresses. Legitimately, that was their mentality. Don't care. This, bro, I'm gonna tell you a quote that forever burns in my mind. Okay?
What, bro?
One of the bosses, this is my old company, Media crap. Anyway, bosses there. What?
I heard what you said. I'm trying to internalize that. Okay, good.
The bosses once said to me, talking can teach, look cannot teach. I'm like, fuck lah. And I see a lot of that. I mean, there's some merit, Look, I'm not so blind as to say, you can look like a troll but still be a celebrity, Like, I get it, but also at the same time, radio is about personality, right?
Yeah.
Nobody really gives a shit if you can. Look at the Muttons, for crying out loud. Nobody cares. If you,
shots fired.
What? No. Well, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Were you expecting the Muttons to go to manhunt?
Bro, they will hunt men.
To eat them. But my. Hey, if we're going to go out last episode of the year. Let's go out with a bang, right? But no, my point is, like, they are not there because they are handsome hunks. They are there because they have personality. See, that's the good thing I'm saying. And that's my point. At the end of the day, that's what you are supposed to be looking for. But once in a while, some executive will always be like, no, we must have pretty people. We must have, that's probably why Toxic Attraction are the NXT
true.
champions all around. And they are looking this next in line initiative to go and find people who are not even into wrestling.
Bro, I like to believe, right? People tune in and listen to our podcast and watch us because of our personality.
No, bro, it's because we are manhunt material, bro.
I mean, if we are manhunt material, you think we'll be doing this podcast?
Ooh.
But what I'm trying to say is, I think you connect more with the fact that you are passionate about this product. I think everyone can smell through the bullshit.
Yeah.
If you're not passionate, I think you will like die off really, really fast. But the great thing is there's another company out there that values the talent more as opposed to the looks. So maybe they're creating this delineation in the next decade where WWE just gonna go all out with their hiring for looks policy, while AEW is really the home of true wrestling. You never know.
Ooh, that and if you think about it, right, the rumors swirling right now that who is gonna take over the WWE after Vince steps down or goes away, right?
Yeah.
The front runner is actually not Triple H, not Bruce Pritchard, it's Nick Khan.
I heard.
Nick Khan,
oh my god,
is a businessman. He's not a wrestling promoter. He's not an ex-wrestler, none of that. So it actually makes a lot of sense. All these things that they're doing. Nick Khan, he's not looking at this talent as a great wrestling talent. He's just looking at dollars and cents and potential to earn revenue. And that actually is very scary to me because I've seen it happen so many times.
I won't be surprised because it's like George Lucas when he gave up Star Wars from a person that was passionate about the story to a businesswoman. I mean, it has been seen and they have bungled the property, the IP.
Is this your favorite word? I noticed you said bungle 5 times already on this podcast. I've never heard you say the word bungle before,
Bro, I'm very proud of using that word. I just use it for an article that I wrote and I can't stop thinking about that word.
Okay, bro. This is the foreign word of the stream. Bungle.
Bro.
Use bungle in your sentences today.
Speaking of interesting comments, I love what Edison said, bro. He said, but Mr. Young is both a hunk and have personality.
Edison, okay, I will treat you to kopi one of these days.
Okay. But unfortunately, got no one say the same thing about me, so let's carry on.
That is foreign's way of fishing for compliments. Everybody, please compliment his beautiful eyebrows and his cute smile right now. Okay,
please, let's we have been 20 minutes in. We've only talked about the first category.
Okay, I know. Some people mentioned Riddle actually as a potential breakout star. You know what? I agree. I agree, but I think Irvin was the one who mentioned also turn Matt Riddle heel. Yeah, I only say this because like his stuff with Randy is cute, right? Yeah. But why is he showing up on NXT to hang out with MSK? Did you see that segment?
I saw. He's the new shaman, right, bro?
Wow, like that whole thing, I was like cringing because at least with Riddle and Randy can react. We've always talked about this. Riddle plays best against a straight, like very like straight shooter type, like Pete Dunne. Remember? Yeah. And then now Randy Orton, who will be
Timothy Thatcher,
who will be like, what the fuck are you doing? Sort of vibe. Now you got 3 Riddles. Bro, well, I'm like, wow, I got damn irritated by that segment, yeah.
No, the thing is, like, the thing about Riddle is I think he's good in small doses. Overexposure of Riddle is like taking too much weed, bro. And then, it's never good for you. Well, I mean, some people who really love it, but
we wouldn't know because we've never tried because we live in Singapore and we are good boys. Good Singaporean boys. Also, Edison says Farhan's hair and face is perfection. Chef's kiss, my bro.
I mean, like, even though I was fishing for compliments, but don't overdo it. Just kidding.
There is no pleasing you, bro. So okay,
respect.
As long as they don't overdo the stoner gimmick, I think it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, moving on.
Yes,
Which
yes.
category should we go
Okay,
for
let's
next?
move on. The next category, let's go for WWE Group of the Year. How about that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and not surprising, the winner once again, but this is less tilted, less landslide than the other one. So special mention, Retribution. Okay, somebody is obviously joking.
Trolling.
Trolling. Hurt Business. I think Hurt Business was higher in 2020, not 2021. They had
Yeah,
already
you're
broken up, reformed. Natalia and Tamina. Okay. The Usos. Well, the Usos could fall under another group, if you know what I'm saying. Toxic Attraction. I'm surprised this one not higher on the list, bro.
Bro, the look strategy seems to be working on a certain portion of our listeners.
Well, hey, I see. I can't lie. It's working on me. Whenever I watch NXT, I really pay attention to the Toxic Attraction matches. Not because of the work rate, which is there. They're not grossly bad.
Yeah, I mean that's why they are on NXT, right?
Yeah,
They need
yeah.
time to grow and develop.
Yeah, The Way was mentioned as well. Undisputed Era, even though they broke up, there was a little bit, but Undisputed Era was more like the previous few years, not this year.
Yeah, it was the final throes of them, lah.
Yeah.
I could say that it could have had a better ending, but it is whatever it is.
Yeah. RK Bro. Okay. I'm not surprised to see them up here, but I'm actually very surprised to not see the New Day at all.
Yeah. But the thing is, I believe New Day has become like they'll always be there, but they necessarily didn't do anything interesting this year. It was more about the singles runs.
Yep.
That was interesting.
Funnily enough, didn't they do like a triple threat on SmackDown?
Yes, they did.
Determine
This
the
year.
best tag team. I'm like, oh, okay. I think also what they're doing is, and watching, just sidetrack, right? Watching the last episode of SmackDown and Raw, don't you think those two shows were much easier to watch? Better pacing, like more action, more things happening. I think they're feeling the heat.
Of course, but it's so sad that it takes getting pushed by another company for them to kind of want to deliver good products. They should be wanting to deliver good products every single week.
So thank you, AEW. If anything, we need to be appreciative of AEW for pushing WWE to get their shit together. Anyway, yes. So New Day, not on the list. Big surprise, but also like you mentioned, they've been there for so long. It's like, okay, take them for granted already. So
Yes, correct.
And the group of no Nakamura and Boogs, please stop it. They're so irritating right now. It's ridiculous.
And Hit Row, no lah. Hit Row just lasted 2 weeks. So
Yeah. He means NXT lah. NXT still got, they had quite a run. Anyway, the winner for WWE Group of the Year, The Bloodline.
no surprises once again.
No.
You know what?
What?
That reminds me of which song or not?
Which song?
It's the epic 2002 soundtrack for every single movie.
Yes, it does.
You know what I mean, lah.
So Bloodline, because of Roman Reigns, literally, and this goes back to the same thing. So there's literally no other faction that can compete right now. Bloodline, Roman Reigns, it's the hottest act on the WWE. But when you had DX, you had Nation of Domination, you had other factions vying for control. If not at a second tier, then the third tier. Right now, it's really only the Bloodline.
Even recently, you had the Shield and you had the Wyatts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had New Day and then you had
The Usos.
Yeah, you had the Usos. Yeah, so you just cannot just be one person or just one component. It has to have a dance partner. As they say.
This applies to comic books too. If you have a hero but all the villains are shit, the hero is not going to be compelling. Superman, hello. Look at Batman, amazing rogues gallery. That's why people love Batman, because he has very iconic villains. Batman and Joker, Spider-Man and Green Goblin.
Foreign and Mr. Young.
Hey, alamak.
Hey,
We haven't heel turned on each other yet. We're still tag team, okay?
No. We are the Rock and Roll Express. We will be baby faces forever, hopefully.
True. Irvin says Ali and Mansoor Mania. Okay, yeah, sure.
Bro. No, that one is once a year only, bro.
Oh yeah, where has Mansoor been? Huh?
On SmackDown, backstage, looking at the new crown.
That's it. You're really poor thing. Okay, let's move on to AEW then. Ooh, exciting year for AEW, huh? And we're going to take a look at the AEW Pro Wrestler of the Year. You see how we phrase these things, by the way. WWE is Superstar of the Year, AEW Pro Wrestler of the Year. And here, at least, right, the voting is a little bit more like spread out. It's not a landslide, which is a good thing because that means you have several top contenders, several people up there in the main event, upper mid card.
And another thing you have to remember is a lot of these people are very new to television. Like, it's only been the last couple of years. So it's great to see them connecting with the fan base so early on into their careers. AEW is doing something right there.
Yes. Ty Conti has been mentioned. Honorable mentions, Cody Rhodes. Okay. Well, I mean, you had to have one Cody Rhodes fan.
Of course. He still has one.
Yeah. Jungle Boy, John Moxley, Adam Cole. I'm actually not surprised he is sort of ranked a little bit lower on our voting because, to be honest, what has he really done since debuting? He's just been hanging around with his boys.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of his run in AEW so far, if I were to be very honest.
But hopefully, it looks like there are things on the horizon where he quote-unquote takes over the elite. And let's not forget, Kyle O'Reilly's contract is up as well.
Yeah, you never know. What if we see Undisputed Era Part 2 in AEW?
That's right. I think that would be awesome. We would need Kyle O'Reilly, not Kyle O'Reilly, the other guy.
Bobby Fish.
No, Bobby Fish there already. Oh my God, Diamond
Kyle
Mine.
O'Reilly. Oh, Diamond Mine. Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong. Oh, he's the least
Yeah, doesn't really matter. I think
interesting fella.
Technically, Roderick Strong joined the original Undisputed Era later on. Remember?
Okay, so he can come later on also.
Yeah, it's okay.
Why? It's okay. You don't even care.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Bryan Danielson is lower, but okay lah. He's there. He's the same number of votes with Darby Allin, Britt Baker, Sammy Guevara. So,
Yeah, it's spread out. But I think Bryan Danielson is still very much a WWE name for now.
Yeah.
He's been having kick-ass matches.
Yeah.
But give him a year or two.
Yeah.
You know?
Stop it lah, Irvin. Irvin says actually should be QT Marshall.
Oi. Walao eh,
he manages to get himself in way better feuds than he deserves. Okay, that's a fair point.
True politicking, bro.
Yeah, just friend, bro. It's called nepotism. Anyway, here we go then on to the upper echelon of the AEW card in terms of you, our fam, the Kick the Gut fam. MJF, not surprising, doing great work right now. Kenny Omega. I'm not surprised. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of his run, but he every match he does is like,
and he kind of had like a dominant reign in 2021. You could say like similar to Roman Reigns in WWE, but in AEW.
I wouldn't say it's the same. Like literally, Roman Reigns was next level superstar, whereas Omega just seems like a. You know what I mean? Do you get what my feeling of it is?
The best Omega was still definitely his New Japan God of Wrestling run. Like, you can't top that.
Yeah. Now here, I think his whole entire goal was to put over Hangman Page.
Yeah.
Which, apparently, according to the voting, he did, because Hangman Page comes in at number 2.
Oh, yeah, and it's really interesting because Hangman Page didn't really have a lot of matches this year.
Yeah.
He actually wrestled less, but he became a bigger star.
Yeah.
Very interesting, huh?
Because of his layoff, because of the story, because the fans were like, okay, you are supposed to be the guy. But then, they went from the cowboy with deep thoughts to hanging around with the Dark Order. It's like fans were like, when is he getting his shot? When is he getting his shot? It's almost like a Kofi situation. Everyone sees the talent, but it's like, okay, when is the company going to pull the trigger on him? And, it took Kenny Omega. It took him time going off to do cowboy shit.
Yeah.
And all that, yeah.
But I think something about Hangman Page is I feel that he is John Cena in 2005. He just became that number one guy. He has just been coronated as a number one guy.
Yeah.
So I believe he can even have a bigger year in 2022.
Yeah.
But it all depends in how well AEW books a babyface champion.
That's true.
Because it can go sideways really, really quickly if they don't do it right.
Well, we know that with Winter is coming, right? They're going to give him a big moment. Like, I really do not see Bryan Danielson taking the title off of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
they
would-
should lah. They should build him up because
Yeah.
it's too early for him to lose the title.
Yeah, it would serve no purpose lah. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
You know, Daniel Bryan doesn't need any more heat. He's doing very well.
I like what Rishi said though about Miro. Yeah, he did have great entertaining matches. And he was his most dominant. He looked the best he's ever been as a wrestler this year, in my opinion.
I enjoy his promos more than his matches. That's saying a lot because his matches were good, very entertaining.
I want to go home and make love to my wife.
Yeah.
And then dominate.
and dominate, and you know, thanks to my God. And like, what? Okay, like, no,
my God will fear me.
yeah. No, but when you see him say it, you believe him because he has the intensity, which he did not have when he first came in. So hopefully that's the same Adam Cole problem. Adam Cole come in, relax, play, you know, play nonsense with his friends first, give it half a year, let him settle in, then he gets his big, you know, push or big moment.
Yeah. I look to Adam Cole to really break out next year.
Okay, at number one, really no surprise here. But are you ready for it?
Of course. Of course.
Like Mussolini and
Kennedy.
I mean, okay.
I want my love and extra cheese. Wait.
Oh, of course you're wearing the
course,
the CM Punk.
I know who's the winner, so you got to show it off, right?
True. I love how you hid it from view this entire time and now then reveal, huh?
Yes.
It's like the wrestler hiding under the ring for most of the match and then last minute.
You could just say it was the best in the world.
Okay. Look, man, CM Punk coming in after however many years, was it 7 years?
7 years, yes.
7 years out of the business and doing what he's doing. And not just that too, he's not going in there like Daniel Bryan and having like, you know, long ass matches. He's going in there and he's cutting promos. He's drawing out this feud with MJF right now. He's doing classic pro wrestling things and it works. You know, we often think of the AEW fan base as, oh, they just like Spot Fest. But guess what? No, it turns out they like a good story, a good pro wrestling angle as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yes, they said like AEW listens to their fans and tell them what they like. But I think AEW can go up one level higher and tell the stories and then condition their audiences to like what they present.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so now you have this huge, it's like, we talked about the Attitude Era, right? If you didn't like the cruiserweights, well, you got the heavyweights, you got the main event, you got the sports entertainment, you have the gross toilet humor stuff, you had Vince McMahon, you had Mae Young and Hands Up, you know, giving birth to hands. So you have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, but the thing is, you as yourself, because I love seeing your growth in terms of your perception, how it changed from when first CM Punk came in, and how you view him now. Like, can you tell me more about like how it is for you? Because you, like you said, you never seen him in his prime.
No. Yeah. So for me, my perception of CM Punk, when I stopped watching wrestling, he had just become the straight edge superstar. Like he had those things. He was in his mid card, so I never got to see the pipe bomb. I never got to see him ascend to the top of the mountain, as it were, right? And it's different lah. When you try to go back and watch the pay-per-views, you don't get a full appreciation for it because for you watch every Raw, every SmackDown, and you know you follow the story. Whereas like I'm not going to go back and watch every Raw leading up to the pay-per-view. I'm just going to watch whatever WrestleMania. Oh, CM Punk has a match. Why are fans cheering? I don't have that connection, right? Yeah. But now I'm seeing him do what he does every single week and do it well. So it's like, okay, I appreciate what he brings to the table. Yeah.
And I think the great thing about CM Punk is if you're a fan, right? He doesn't treat you like you're a child. He expects you to be an adult. Like his feuds and storylines, the way he presents it, it caters to an audience that appreciates wrestling. He doesn't walk you through his things. You know, if you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
And I think you treating your audience as intelligent people, I think makes you have that greater connection with your crowd.
Which is, of course, the big thing against WWE. Sometimes some of their stuff can seem a bit like, hey, you think we're all children, is it?
Yeah, I think we're all dumb. We don't get A plus A. Well, or A1 plus 1 equals 2.
That's the thing. They're going for the lowest common denominator, which is like the kids. It's a kid product, what? You know, they have to hit every audience.
Yeah, but it's very interesting because CM Punk only returned in August and he only had 4 months. But the fact that he won over every like our, at least our listening votes to become like the top AEW wrestler of the year says a lot about, I think, his impact. It feels like Hulk Hogan returning in 2002, where there's a lot of fan support, fan love for him, just happy for him to come back to wrestling.
Well, what Irvin says is very true. He brings gravitas to the product. He brings legitimacy to the product. And I can only imagine he brings a good influence to the product. And we will get into that. We'll talk a little bit more about that later in one of our other awards, right? But I believe that, and I've said this many times, because of him, because of Daniel Bryan, all of a sudden Tony Khan has more points of views on how to present his pro wrestling product, as opposed to your first batch of EVPs, Cody, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. Right now, you have these guys who have been to the big dance in front of hundreds and thousands of people at WrestleManias. They know how to build a storyline. They know how to build moments.
I'd rather Tony Khan listen to what Bryan Danielson has to say, CM Punk has to say, as opposed to what the Omegas and the Young Bucks of the world have to say.
So there you go. CM Punk, your AEW Pro Wrestler of the Year, according to you, the Kick to the Gut fam. Now let's move on to the AEW Team or Group of the Year. Interesting because this one, okay lah, there are two that are quite up there. I'm not surprised it's these two because they have been there for the longest time.
Yep.
And then just everything else, nobody. How come nobody voted for the Dark Order? Oh no, got two. Got. Okay, so here we go. Let's go through the list then. Darby Allin and Sting. Yeah, I don't see them so much as a team though. Like they're more like mentor and
they are more like Ali and Mansoor lah.
I don't believe you insulted Sting like that. Okay.
Hey, Ali compared to Sting. I mean Sting compared to Ali. Why not?
Okay, sure. Best friends. Hey, Trent Barretta just came back with his mother in their SUV.
Doesn't Trent make you feel like the most Asian son ever? Like
because the mother drive him.
Yeah, the mom drive him, bring him everywhere. Okay, what?
Okay, also, do you notice on that recent AEW, he got his surname back. So he's Trent Barretta. They call him Trent Barretta. They didn't just call him Trent. I hope Trent beats the fuck out of
Super Click.
No. His teammate, the best friend, the other guy.
Wheeler Utah.
Not Wheeler Utah, the most useless one.
Oh, Chuck Taylor.
And turns heel because look at him. He looks like he has a lot of potential.
I mean, Trent Barretta, like shredded as fuck. That's one thing.
Yeah, he needs
and secondly, he carries himself well.
Yeah, he does. Bless you. You okay?
Sorry, I'm blessed. Thank you guys.
He looks like a legit wrestler, whereas his friend Chuck Taylor looks like a slob. Looks like anybody.
Chuck Taylor looks like foreign trying to wrestle. That's why I only had one match.
You can do better than Chuck Taylor, bro. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And like I want. Okay, you know what? This is what I envision. Mr. Young, Best Booker 2021. Trent Barretta turns. Orange Cassidy stuck in the middle. At least now you have like that interesting, three-way dynamic. It's like, Orange Cassidy is like trying to stay in the middle. Stop fighting.
Yeah, that's true. And I think this is an opportunity to actually elevate best friends because they've always been a fun, but mid-cut faction, right? But I think there's a chance to elevate them next year.
Freshen them up. Okay, look, Trent Barretta looks great. I think he looks good as a heel. Have him destroy Chuck Taylor. Chuck Taylor looks like a schlub, so people can relate to him, right? And then you can have your Trent versus Orange Cassidy matches, and Orange Cassidy people will always pop for. So you build Trent.
Yeah, and don't forget the Asian guy in the group, Wheeler Utah.
Where did he come from? No, see, I don't like. He's the new friend that shouldn't be disturbing this old friends dynamic.
Yeah, I don't know, but the thing is now they are part of Chaos. So right, so they're part of there's a New Japan connection.
Nobody knows this Chaos business lah. Fuck lah. Relax with your Japanese wrestling references. Nobody knows.
No, I'm just playing devil's advocate. There are New Japan fans who listen to the podcast.
Nobody knows one. Okay, come.
Najwan, where you at, Najwan?
Yeah, Najwan, stand up. New Japan, start defending your product, okay? No, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that the North American audience, by and large, and people who don't watch New Japan won't know the reference of Chaos.
Yeah, that's true. And it's such a shame lah, because I feel that if you can do it in such a way and present them well, like don't assume that everyone knows things. Like you still have to kind of educate your audiences to an extent, lah.
Well, I know Excalibur tries, but whenever he says it, I'm like, oh, okay, lor. You know, it's like it's a situation where someone is telling you something you have no idea about, then you just go, oh, just to get the conversation on and over with.
Irvin said something funny. Do you see?
What?
He said, Trent turning heel with his mom like Shelton.
Yes! Let's go. And then he literally, you know how Eddie used to come out on the lowrider? Trent comes out in the SUV with his mother driving.
Okay, Najwan didn't appear on the chat, but his brother has come to defend his honor, bro. Now foul. What's up, bro? He said, I know.
Oh, okay. Let's move on.
Don't insult family.
Oh God. Okay. American top team because of Paige Van Sant. Alamak, that one okay. The rubbish vote. That one anyhow one.
Let's just thirst vote, bro.
Thirst vote. Yes. Dark Order, Jurassic Express, all there. Okay. Death Triangle and Lucha Bros. I suppose they are the same, but not really the same.
Yeah, same, different.
Hey, AEW has a lot of this. Okay, groups within groups.
Yeah, that's why when I had to tally the vote, right, I had to like subdivide, add the different mini teams inside the faction together.
Yeah, FTR and Pinnacle, I guess, group within a group.
Combined,
Yeah, they're there also. But to be honest, recently they've sort of like been presented as, you know, themselves. There hasn't been much group dynamic. Like MJF is doing his own thing with CM Punk, which I'm not necessarily against, but it's nice to once in a while mention Pinnacle. Which I think maybe the commentators do, so it's like, but it's like, there has been less importance on that faction.
It's more of like MJF surrounded by Wardlow and Sean Spears, and FTR is doing their own thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind having backstage segments to see them kind of hanging out together. Perhaps. That would have been at least a way to remind fans that, they are still a thing.
Yeah. And then, of course, the winning group. I mean, let's face it, this group has so many different groups. Of course, they're going to get all the votes. You tally up together, you know?
Yeah, maybe. So, did we mention number 2 though?
Inner Circle, yes. I mean, the Inner Circle, have they done a lot? They are the same as the Pinnacle, right? Now they've moved on from their big feud, their big gang war shit, they're sort of doing their own thing.
Yeah, I mean, they only had the big thing with Pinnacle in the early part of the year. Second part of the year, they had it with American Top Team, but most of them are kind of doing their own thing, you're right?
Yeah, which is good. The problem is I don't know why Santana and Ortiz are not featured more.
They need to be contending for the titles, man. They deserve it, bro.
Yeah. Chris Jericho was quote-unquote injured.
Yeah.
By, who is it?
2.0, is it?
Yeah, I think, okay, yeah, sure. I guess they're going to feud later in the year.
Are they going to make Jericho now a mid-carder in AEW?
I don't know, man. But whatever. You know, he needs to take a break. Jericho is the type of performer right now that would benefit from refreshing. Go away for a while, come back. This is what he's done his entire career, so it's fine. So, okay, the winner, and not surprising, I suppose, because like I said, the Super Clique, the Super Elite, the Elite, I don't know which belongs in which, but let's just give it to them. The Elite, ta-da! Woo-hoo! Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and maybe Adam Cole.
And for the first time ever, Brandon Cutler has won something in his life.
Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa. Oh, great. I mean,
they are the most featured lah.
Yeah.
You can't deny. You can't deny their presence in AEW programming, and I think they still play a very important role in AEW.
To irritate people?
Yeah, to remind them that this can be an outlaw match sometimes. I thought having Adam Cole would kind of change the dynamic a bit, but maybe they couldn't tell the story yet because like Kenny Omega is out injured.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind some sort of civil war within the Elite. That would have been interesting.
Well, I mean, it sort of is pointing that way, isn't it? Like while Kenny Omega is gone, bless you, Adam Cole tries to take over, maybe bring in, like we mentioned, Bobby Fish, which he's already doing, and then Kyle O'Reilly, eventually Roderick Strong, and completely overtake what's their face? The Elite. And actually a face Undisputed Era versus a heel Elite would be pretty cool.
I would think it's pretty cool, to have Undisputed Era versus the Elite going to the new year. But one thing I can't deny is the Elite has their hands in a lot of pies in AEW. Like their presence is there, so you can't really deny their influence. It's just that whether it's a good or bad influence, that's up to debate lah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, good or bad influence, right? Tony Khan, aka Booker of the Year, he should be the one who says yes, no, maybe so. But with new input, now he can actually open up his repertoire and not do the same old, overbooked shit that they've been doing for the past years. So okay, there you go. The elite, super click, whatever, Young Bucks, that big schmoz of jabronis are your AEW team of the year.
Funnily enough, in 2019, the AEW tag team of the year was the Young Bucks. So that was when they were presented as a face and like one of the good guys in the company. So good on them lah.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on then. Favorite pay-per-view of the year. This one, it's a landslide, and also not surprising because you talk about moments. I think this pay-per-view had a lot of moments. But before we get to that, let's see the honorable mentions, okay?
Yep.
War Games, Survivor Series, WrestleMania? Ooh, that's got to be painful for WWE.
Yeah, I mean, War Games. I don't know how the hell War Games made it to this list, but sure.
Yeah, I not looking at the trend of our voters. There's at least one person who is a huge toxic attraction thirst monger. So I think that's the same person.
Okay.
APAC Wrestling.
Oh, that must be come from one of our Malaysian fans.
Okay, there you go. Full Gear got a couple of votes. Crown Jewel got votes as well. Yeah. Well, I mean, remember we were surprised at how good Crown Jewel was.
Yes, the card was quite a stacked card.
Yeah,
so good for them.
Yeah, but just looking at all these, right, the WWE pay-per-views, you're right, and I think our Kick to the Gut fam also feel the same way. The pay-per-views have just been a bit of a chore. It's been like, this is just a natural progression. It might as well be a Raw.
Yeah. And I mean, we have to give a bit of concessions to not say WrestleMania, because WrestleMania wasn't really in the best of conditions. It was a half a crowd and all that kind of stuff. But I'm quite happy because WrestleMania kind of went back to how it was before the pandemic. Yeah. So at least that's something good. But I didn't expect it to be like an amazing show.
I am very surprised that Money in the Bank didn't make it onto this list, because Money in the Bank was the first one where they had a full crowd and there were really huge moments, like when Nikki ASH won the Money in the Bank, Big E won Money in the Bank. So I'm surprised those are not here.
John Cena returned. That was a huge moment. Yeah, I'm very surprised as well. But I guess something else kind of got the fans and listeners' attention.
Yes. A landslide running away with favorite pay-per-view of the year. It's AEW All Out.
Woo! I mean, I would say that is kind of a deserved and expected result. Like you said, moments, bro. There's so many moments from that show.
True. My mic got stuck for a second. Wouldn't switch on. Okay, so what was your favorite thing about All Out?
I mean, clearly, come on, like clearly,
like
the return.
Mussolini.
And Adam Cole.
Well, not so much Adam Cole. So there you go.
CM Punk returning after 7 years, having a great match with WWE, that's one thing. And of course, I know it's so weird, but a lot of people forget that the main event was actually Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage.
Which,
I'm so sorry,
honest, wasn't a great main event.
Yeah, but everyone remembers what happened after the fact.
Yes, Bryan Danielson does his big, return.
Adam Cole came to swerve.
Adam Cole came to swerve. Yeah, so it really was about the moment, because I pulled up the card, right? Okay, Chris Jericho versus MJF. Was this the
retirement thing?
Retirement one, yes. Paul White versus QT Marshall, bro.
That was the last time we ever saw Paul White wrestle, right?
Yeah, what happened to him?
Thank gosh.
Okay, actually,
just let me enjoy his retirement.
Looking at the match card now, and just thinking back, really, it was all about the moment. Because you had Miro, Eddie Kingston, that was fine.
That was a great match.
Moxley, Kojima was meh.
Okay.
Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks Spot Fest. 21 Woman Casino Battle Royale, Ruby Soho debuted.
Yes. Yeah. Lucha Bros and Young Bucks, was it the cage match with the thumbtacks on the shoe?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, then.
Chris Jericho, MJF, CM Punk, Darby Allin. CM Punk's big return to the ring. Paul White, QT Marshall, Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like that. Even though it was a sport fest in a way, I did enjoy the match between Young Bucks and Lucha Bros because it was the Lucha Bros finally winning the title. And they really set it up well. So I enjoyed that.
Okay.
Yeah, Christian Cage and Kenny Omega. I think they had a better match 2 weeks beforehand.
Yes.
Remember when they lost? I think was it the first ever Rampage?
Yeah, the Impact. No, the second Rampage. The first Rampage was CM Punk.
No, CM Punk was the second Rampage, bro. That was the first dance. Was the second.
Oh yeah. You're right. Okay, so you're right. Yes.
It was the first Rampage
where Christian won the Impact Championship.
Yeah, and they had a surprisingly good match because everyone didn't have any expectations about that. But they did well.
I thought Crown Jewel would rank higher, but I think there is a stink on the WWE as it relates to pay-per-views and Saudi pay-per-views.
Yeah, I mean SummerSlam also. I'm quite surprised it wasn't really higher up on the list.
But I remember SummerSlam being a bit of a like bleh.
SummerSlam had a good match with Cena and Reigns, and of course Brock Lesnar returning.
Becky Lynch returning,
Becky Lynch returning.
Bianca.
But so if you talk about moments, I think the one with the best moments, I would say SummerSlam, but maybe not the best match or card. The better card was definitely Money in the Bank. But you're right.
Yeah, in terms of the build-up though, AEW's All Out, they definitely had, I think, the most build going into each match. That's why looking at the card, like, divorced from the build-up, doesn't really do it justice.
Irvin said Tony Khan stacked All Out to win this award, bro. Tony Khan listening to our award show, bro.
Yeah. He went all out for All Out.
Yes, clearly.
Okay, there you go. Favorite pay-per-view of the year, according to the Kick to the Gut fam. Let's move on to the last voting category, okay? Interesting one. Interesting because I'm surprised here. Favorite feud of the year. Let's talk about some of the honorable mentions. And I wonder if, because there were quite a few interesting feuds, the vote got watered down a bit, like, you know?
Yeah.
Spread out a little bit. So we got Reigns, Edge, Bryan. Okay, yeah. Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor.
Good 2-match feud, I guess.
Yeah. Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole. Decent series of feuds, and they managed to pull some like shoot-ish type injury deal. Remember that one?
Yeah, they did. I'm just sad that like the rivalry started off really, really hot, but kind of petered out because I think everyone knew that Adam Cole was leaving. Yeah. So it didn't really end in a nice way. But it's nice for it to be acknowledged.
Never mind, Kyle can still go back and they can resume on AEW, huh? Lesnar Reigns.
Lesnar Reigns.
It's a part-time feud, lah. That's the problem.
Yeah, it was great. Like every time the match happened, like it was a great build-up. But not a long-running series, lah. But depends on how you interpret what's your favorite feud, right?
Yeah, I suppose this is all subjective after all, right? I mean, objective. Everyone versus Malik Blade, says Irvin. Okay, maybe not. Malik Blade kinda like dropped out left, right,
Malik
center.
Blade is the biggest jobber in NXT right now.
MJF Jericho. Okay, the 5 labors of Jericho and all that.
Yeah. You know what? It's very interesting, but I remember it was definitely a big talking point at that point in time, but it was quickly forgotten as well.
Because it started out like interesting and then it just kind of went like, oh, okay, they're going to have more matches. Oh,
Remember that one time Jericho wanted to fight Nick Gage and brought back the Painmaker?
Yeah. So that was fine. And then like he had to go back to his Lionheart days against Hooven Dude, which was interesting. And then after that, Wardlow. Huh?
Yeah. The first 3 was interesting because it was like different eras of Jericho.
Yeah, and then after that it was just MJF's little lackeys. Fuck lah. Who voted Jeff Hardy versus Drugs?
Jeff Hardy versus Drugs. Hey, you guys no chill, huh? You want?
Fuck, that's so bad. Okay,
it's not nice.
Yeah, addiction is a real problem. For some people, and especially with Jeff Hardy, he just got released by the WWE, right? We certainly wish him all the best, but no chill, bro. Whoever put that, no chill.
Terrible.
Reigns versus Cena. Okay, again, it's a short-term feud.
Yeah, and it was just a one match feud.
I think the most memorable feuds are feuds that last quite a while, where you're chomping at the bit to even see these guys touch each other. Yeah,
I'm surprised. Actually, I'm not really surprised, but there was one feud from WWE that did quite well in the list, right? Edge versus Seth Rollins.
Okay, yeah. I mean, also a part-time feud, but
Three match feud at least.
3-match feud, yeah. But I think Edge gave it a lot of gravitas. You know, he's a proper actor now.
Yes,
And
and also their payoff, their final blow off match at Crown Jewel was surprisingly, well done, well received.
I wouldn't say it was surprising. I thought it was, par for the course when you talk about Seth Rollins and Edge. Those two can put on a good match. A few more mentions: McMahon versus Tony Khan. Okay, Charlotte versus Becky.
Really, I mean, not the best year for them.
Yeah, I think only because you talk about long-running feuds. It's like Cena Orton. It's like Rock Austin. You can now, at any point, put them together and have them, because they've got built-in storyline already.
They will always have some sort of conflict no matter what.
Yeah, so I actually agree with that in that, okay, I can buy it. It doesn't seem completely out of the blue. Like, okay, Banks versus Belair, especially at WrestleMania, even though it's here on the list as, someone voted, actually a couple of people voted for favorite feud, I'm not a fan of this feud because I remember my criticism of it was built so last minute.
Yeah. And of course, we kind of thought that Bianca Belair was going to go into Survivor Series as a champion. No one really wanted to see Becky versus Charlotte again, if you know what I mean.
But given the short amount of time they had to build it, I actually really, really enjoyed that. Because like I said, even if you threw Rock Austin now, people will watch. It's very easy to build the feud.
It kind of was weird because it became like one of the best matches in Survivor Series without the feud. Like the match itself was really, really good.
Well, that's my point. They have been feuding this entire time. It's just not been a highlighted storyline. You know what I mean? Yeah. They have so much history. It's easy. It's easy to do a feud. If you did Hogan versus Macho Man with 1 week build right now in 2021, people will understand that.
Man, watching a 70-year-old Hulk Hogan versus if he was still alive, 68-year-old, I mean, Macho Man.
Okay, fine. Cena Orton then. Batista, Triple H. You get my point though.
Yeah. Randy, Triple H also, I would still watch it.
Yeah, there's just so much history that it is hard to ignore, even if they haven't talked to each other for 10 years.
Yeah, like Goldberg, Chris Jericho.
Fuck off! Nobody wants to see Goldberg. And I'm sorry but Chris Jericho isn't exactly a spring chicken himself.
Bro, he autumn already.
Yeah. Okay, we have our winner then.
Okay.
Favorite feud of the year as voted by you, the Kick to the Gut fan base, the Kick to the Gut fam. Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega.
Very well deserved, man. Very, very well deserved.
Well, like I said, when you talk about a feud, this has been going on for a while. And even though they didn't, Hangman was away for a bit, absence makes the heart grow fonder. People have been clamoring for him to win the championship already. Finally, when it happened, culminated, boom, people really loved it.
And they pulled the trigger, I think they missed a spot. I wish they did it all out. But because of his wife getting pregnant and having a kid and all that, they delayed it, but they still managed to wrap it up in a satisfying way at Full Gear. Yeah, that's great.
Do you guys agree, disagree? Let us know in the comments, okay? In the meantime, though, it is time for the Kick to the Gut picks. So we will each, Foreign and myself, Mr. Young, will have our selection. I wonder if any of our selections are the same.
Yeah. Let's for those who are asking, so we have Kick to the Gut Awards. We're trying to make it a tradition, right?
Yeah.
So half of the categories will be voted in by fans, and then the other half is voted in by us. So we've come out with a couple of categories and each one of us will give our pick for that category.
Yeah. Before we dive into the Rishi says Doudrop versus Eva Marie was the best feud of all time. Actually,
Rishi, you asking for it, Rishi?
That's why. No, what we should do, and I'm surprised we didn't think of it, we should come up with a worst feud of the year.
Oh no. Very hard lah, bro. You were trying to make me decide from a white pool,
Yeah. Our fam will help us decide next time, okay? So that's next year. Next year we'll have worst feud of the year category, for you guys to vote. But right now, here we go. It is the Kick to the Gut Awards. The first of all, OMG moment of the year.
OMG, yes.
OMG. Okay, you want to start or shall I start?
Please, you do first.
Okay, so, there were huge returns. CM Punk, Bryan Danielson. Are you okay or not?
I am gonna be sick soon. Let's see.
Hey, Troy, knock on wood, bro. Not at the end of the year, okay?
Okay.
So there have been huge moments, no doubt, right? Big E winning the championship, Money in the Bank, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, CM Punk. But for me, I think it's a more personal pick. It is for us here in Singapore, us here in Southeast Asia. Edison, wake up right now. Because we have never had a wrestler from this region represent us before on the big stage in WWE. So on that random episode of NXT, when you saw this security guard say, Mr. DiBiase is waiting for you, with that Singaporean accent, I was like, wait a minute, I know that guy. We've talked to him before. Of course, on that day, on that episode, he was just playing random security guard. Okay?
And he hasn't officially announced.
Yeah, so that was fine, but you knew that something was happening soon. But when he finally debuted on NXT from Singapore, Dante Chen appearing on NXT on WWE TV. I mean, for all of us, I think, see, this is only applicable to us here in Southeast Asia, I feel. But this is my pick because, you know, I'm Singaporean.
Yes, Singaporean proud.
This is home. Okay, anyway. I think that he made the impossible dream possible, and it's an inspiration to all of us who have been fans our entire lives. Some potential or aspiring pro wrestlers in the future as well. He made this moment real, and it's like, oh, if Dante can do it, so can a young kid who's watching WWE now.
Yeah, he validated, I think, a lot of, like you said, a lot of Singaporean fans who've always thought of WWE as this like far off fantasy land, something that we will just watch, you know, we'll never be involved in. And then to suddenly know like, oh, there's a guy from Singapore that's in WWE. Regardless of what happens right now, right, going forward, he will always have that historic achievement in his belt.
And that's why, to me, that is the OMG moment of the year. Dante Chen appearing on WWE TV.
Yeah, that great pick, bro. I think that's a very, very well-deserved pick. For me, like I said, I'm going to be a bit selfish. It's not going to be very, very surprising.
Okay.
Yeah, but then again...
Yeah, oh, wow.
This shirt, right? This shirt. So, my pick for OMG moment, even though the rumors were true, but the best thing was no one confirmed it until the actual time when Cult of Personality played and he came out. AEW Rampage, first dance. Bro, that crowd reaction, seeing CM Punk appear on television for the first time in wrestling, 7 years, that made me legit emotional, bro.
Like Mussolini and Kennedy.
Yeah, man. I'm just tearing up thinking about it. I'm just falling sick. But the thing is, what made it magical was, you know, when he came out and he kind of went to his knees and he kind of looked out at the audience and just everyone was just cheering. Like, who else, which other wrestler right now in the world have that kind of love and support from an audience? Like, honestly, no one. And the fact that he could do it, the best line that I heard from the whole of television or commentary was he basically sold out the Chicago Bulls arena on a rumor. Right?
Oh, right.
Right. The entire show was sold out on the possibility that he might come, but no one confirmed it. And when he came and like that 7 minutes promo, whatever, how many minutes that he cut, where he sat down, every little thing, like I like that promo that he did when he came back, to me, it has been the most replayed promo at least in my household. Like, I break down every single thing because every little thing that he did popped the crowd. Him taking off his jacket to reveal his shirt. Him sitting down. Him saying that, you know, I left professional wrestling in 2005. And then I came back now and I'm back in professional wrestling. That's like the biggest shit that he threw in WWE without even mentioning WWE. And then straight away, the first thing that he did was to put over new talent in AEW. He talked about Britt Baker, went and talked about Darby Allin. Like, CM Punk being in wrestling is good for wrestling.
Yep, I agree. In hindsight, I agree. But it was still my OMG moment because I never thought this day would come. It could have come. There was a couple of moments that it might have come, but like to see it really happen is like, for long-suffering fans, this is probably how you felt when, I don't know, like
maybe like when Bret Hart returned to WWE, like
Sure.
in 2010.
Yeah.
It might eventually happen, but you won't believe it until you actually see it.
That's true. There you go.
So that's my moment.
Foreign getting emotional as well. Look at that.
Yeah. See, my nostrils all tearing up.
It's a work emotional moment for Foreign.
Yeah.
Okay, from OMG moment we go to the Just Stop It award.
Just stop it.
Just stop it lah.
This was named and inspired by Mr. Young's one of Mr. Young's favorite catchphrases on the podcast.
I haven't used this catchphrase in a long time. Just stop it. Anyway, shall I go first then once again?
Yes, please. I'm going to be the lead.
Look, I think if you listen to this podcast on a regular basis, it would be no surprise exactly who deserves, in my book, the Just Stop It award. Okay, when you talk about moments in pro wrestling, you talk about things like Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, for example, Austin Rock, Austin Brett, right? All these stories that were built towards these moments. We all remember the I love you, I'm sorry moment. And things like that. Those are just great examples of wonderful moments. Or when Edge speared Mick Foley through the flaming table. That moment's replayed, not just because it was a cool visual, but because of the feud that they had going, throughout the however many months it was, and then culminating in these moments, right?
Yep.
It almost feels like this guy thinks of the moment first and then works backwards.
I know who
but doesn't have the time to actually build to those moments. Do you know what I'm saying? You build to moments so that when it happens, like for example, CM Punk coming back, rumor, that was the build, right? You don't just, oh, by the way, Hana, I'm here. No. So this guy just creates moments out of thin air and expects the crowd to be like, oh, he went through a flaming table. Wow. Oh, he's the first man to have a biracial baby. Wow. Oh,
he made a US versus UK war in 2021.
For no reason. No reason at all. Okay, it's quite obvious. My Just Stop It award goes to one Cody Rhodes. Okay. Look, here's the thing.
Oh my gosh.
And let me qualify all this by saying I don't think Cody Rhodes is a bad wrestler. I think he's actually very competent in the ring. He delivers good promos. The problem is, first of all, and if you look at this year, specifically this year, QT Marshall feud. Look, nobody gives a fuck, right?
Okay.
You okay or not, bro?
No, I don't know, man. It was so funny. But it's so on brand, lah.
Yeah.
This is definitely your Stop It award, lah. This is the reason why this award was created.
Yeah,
so
it's
he
just
can run on brand on these people.
I'll go. I'll go where? I don't know where he went. Right?
Go away.
Go already. Remember, I just referenced his promo that was so impassioned, but it made no sense whatsoever.
You know what's the worst part? It's not the fact that he cut that promo. That he started off his reality TV and talked about that promo for the first episode, making it sound like it's a big deal that happened.
Yeah, when it's not. See, everything he does is to generate a moment that doesn't deserve it. You know?
Yeah.
And that is my biggest problem with him. And then to top it off, he's like, I will not turn. You know, it's like he has this higher goal in his life, and that is to serve. You guys will love me as a hero. So it's his refusal to change his character. Because if you think about it, right, all the other EVPs have changed their characters already. They got super stale, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, and they tweak their character, they turn heel. The only one that won't, because the company needs him, is Cody Rhodes. And then it's like the cherry on top of the cake, right? To round out 2021, motherfucker goes through a flaming table versus Andrade El Idolo, because those two have had this blood feud for almost half a... Oh wait, no! They haven't! There's no feud there! No, I'm sorry. Andrade is this dastardly heel that's been terrorizing AEW. Oh wait, no! He is like cold as fucking freezer. He has had no heat on him whatsoever. Look, I love Andrade. You love Andrade, right?
Yeah.
Has he been fucking terrorizing AEW? No.
Bro, he not El Idolo. He like El Bodo lah, bro. Why?
And then, just to have a moment in his hometown, They pulled out one flaming table. This is Brandy Rhodes showing up randomly like he. Where's the build up? What's the point? And the worst part is, Cody Rhodes was the one who went through the flaming table. Cody Rhodes makes the pin. Like, none of it makes sense. Moments are to be built up towards, and they have to make sense. Cody Rhodes needs to stop building moments to make himself look good. It's just annoying. It's just stop it.
Mr. Young, I cannot measure up to that impassioned 5-minute promo that you just cut on Cody Rhodes.
And let's not forget his reality TV show. Just
yes,
terrible.
Yeah, just stop it. And
Stop
you,
it.
as a reality TV fan, says it sucks. So
Yeah,
it must have really sucked.
Oh, it's dude. I watched Toto Divas. I watched Toto Bellas. That shit is Oscar winning compared to Rhodes to the Top. Okay.
Oh my gosh! But you know what? I would dare say this is just the bottom for when really the Rhodes rises to the top next year, if and only if he becomes what he swear he won't become, which is a dastardly heel next year.
Okay, sure.
Then
Maybe
everything that we had to sit through this whole year will be worth it.
and then he will claim that this was the plan all along. And you've been hoodwinked. You've been worked. Stop it, lah.
I wouldn't put it past him, lah. But you know what? If it gets us to the ultimate destination, then why not, lah?
Yeah, but oh my god, don't get me started. Fuck.
Okay.
And then-
We really had enough of a
It's like he must beat the point in over and over again. I'm such a good guy. Oh, bring out Sledgehammer, bring out Golden Shovel. Like, we get it, lah. We get it.
Cody Rhodes, bro. I mean, he is what he is, lah, bro. He is his father's son. He is his brother's brother. And he is the father of the first biracial baby.
That's the worst promo ever.
He apparently beat racism, lah.
He beat racism.
But he beat racism, but then he wants to beat a black man
To beat
in his
racism.
pay-per-view.
Yeah.
He wants to beat a black man to beat racism versus UK.
Yeah, and then he goes through a flaming table and wins the match because somehow it hurt Andrade more than it hurt him. Wow.
I have no idea how Idolo benefited from that match, but okay, sure.
Go ahead.
Okay,
If not, we
okay.
spend another half an hour here.
Let me lighten up the mood by talking about my just stop it moment as well. It's not gonna get any better, bro.
Okay.
But my just stop it moment is, I mean, clearly on a lot of people's mind, WWE stupid amount of releases and nonsensical releases that they release. Like,
Yes.
that it just stop it. Like, it just got to a point where, bro, just stop it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Stop feeding the competition.
That's one thing, but like, okay, there was a couple that they dropped like post WrestleMania that was like, oh man, that sucks, but okay, I see why, you know. But when they started releasing the Fiend, right, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like Braun Strowman was shocking, but makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like if you talk about the contract, that kind of stuff. Aleister Black was very, very disappointing, but not shocking.
Yeah.
Didn't give him a lot to do. But the one, like, for me, the Fiend was really, really painful because I feel like you just dropped the ball on a mega star. Like, you talk about people, they can't build they can't build new superstars, right? I think the Fiend got over in spite of WWE trying to hold them down or trying to screw with him.
Yeah.
And then they still release him.
And he was a top merchandise mover also, so you can't really argue that, he doesn't bring money or he doesn't bring revenue to the company. So yeah, you're right. That makes absolutely no sense. And what about putting on vignettes and having them debut only to fire Hit Row?
Hit Row, Keith Lee. Who else did they did vignettes for?
Karrion Kross.
So like, there's so many, like, it gets frustrating and mind-numbing after a while.
Well, bless you. Adam Cole also, I guess, like, we go back to it, the only good side of it is hopefully they find a home in AEW and they can do what they have always wanted to do.
Yeah, I think this was the year where I got really, really pissed off with WWE, and this WWE release is just stop it.
But bless you.
Sorry, brother.
It goes back to what we were talking about earlier about how WWE is now transitioning into this, like, this is very Nick Khan-ish big corporate conglomerate that doesn't see its talents as individual stars, but just based on the name value of WWE. People think pro wrestling, they think, or sports entertainment, they think WWE, right? So are just forced to accept what they present to you. Oh, this is the champion. This is what a champion should be, as opposed to someone who organically gets over. And if they really do pass the reins over to Nick Khan, I unfortunately can see it becoming more and more like this, and AEW becoming the home of pro wrestling.
And that's their own fault. They deserve it. If they screw it up so bad, they're the one that lose their audiences.
See, that's the thing, right? Is it really a fault, or are they at that level where, for example, like Disney, people just, default, Disney movie, sure, good one. Got name value already. So even if it's a pile of shit coming out, also, people it will sell out, No,
but if they lose their hardcore fans, and then they try to win over fans who never even give a shit about wrestling, so who actually stays? Well,
here's the thing. Who actually stays? The mainstream, the randos, the non-quote-unquote hardcore fans. But they're more casual fans than they are hardcore fans. That's the point. They are an entertainment company. They are no longer a professional wrestling company, for good or bad. Okay?
Yeah.
For good or bad. I'm not saying this is good or bad either way. I'm just saying this is what it is. So, for a pro wrestling fan like myself, of course it's bad.
I will still say the thing that keeps WWE going, right, it will still be their intellectual property. It's nothing to do with their current product. If they're going to release a documentary on Vince McMahon on Netflix, they're going to make a movie about Undertaker. These are the things that I think will sell. So if they want to create that, which is basically what it is with Marvel. Marvel, they expanded beyond just doing comic books. Because I think, bro, if Marvel never went into the movies, right, they will be a dying brand.
Yeah. They already went bankrupt back in the 2000s. That's why they had to sell the rights to Spider-Man. That's why Sony has the rights to Spider-Man. That's why Fox had the rights to X-Men, because they were in deep financial trouble.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? I give you a best example, right? When has Marvel created a new comic book hero in the last 10, 20 years that is as popular as their OGs?
Very hard to find. Yeah, true.
It's the same with WWE. So I would say they're gonna have to recreate The Rock and Stone Cold in different versions in future generations as this Stone Cold is played by this guy.
Yeah.
But not necessarily they create a new comic book hero or new wrestler.
But it's gonna be very tough, especially if they're not letting them organically get over. It is becoming more and more of a factory process. Oh, let's get people who are athletes and make them pro wrestlers, as opposed to getting people who love the pro wrestling business. So it's not all doom and gloom. Let's face it, there's still Bruce Pritchards, your Triple H's and Stephanie McMahon's there who grew up in the wrestling business, so they can sort of right that ship. But if Nick Khan really becomes the controlling guy, and you can already see it happening with all these releases, then you're gonna have this issue.
Just stop it really goes out to WWE in that sense. Bro, they really need to back up.
Give it to Nick Khan, bro. Not Triple H, not Bruce.
Khan versus Khan in 2022.
That's hilarious too. One Khan is super pro wrestling fan, the other Khan is businessman.
My god, this is the real rivalry, bro. The real evil, good versus evil feud.
And somehow it's they have the same surname, so that's hilarious. It's like Khan versus Khan. Okay.
It's destiny, bro. It's destiny.
Yeah, you can't stop destiny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, can't.
The wrestling is full of cunts. I mean, cunts.
Anyway, let's move on to the For Sure award for the best wrestling show. Okay, so this is an interesting one. I had two different shows in my head, but ultimately I decided to go for NXT TV. Even with the 2.0 brand, the rebrand rather, and while it's had a lot of teething issues, let's not forget, okay, the Black and Gold brand was giving us quality wrestling, quality sports, and a good mix from January all the way till September. That's when 2.0 first came about, and you had your Tommaso Ciampas, your The Way. I mean, Austin Theory. This is learning school for Austin Theory, right? Hanging out with Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, and whatnot. You had Santos Escobar. This was the birth of Hit Row this year. Yeah, Samoa Joe came back for a cup of coffee. Had some really interesting moments. Yeah,
Karen Cross kind of still was relevant.
I didn't want to bring him up because Karrion Cross.
Yeah.
You had the ending era of the Undisputed Era, which, had a lot of good matches, even though it fell flat at the back. But, you got Pete Dunne there as well, Io Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez. To be fair, the women's division was a little bit lackluster this year in NXT.
NXT still gave a good pay-per-view in Stand and Deliver though.
Yeah, Stand and they gave several great pay-per-views. Friggin' Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. Even though, very little build, but still amazing. One of the best matches of the year. Finn Balor. Who did Finn Balor face? Pete Dunne. Yeah. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly.
Finn Balor was rehabilitated this year in NXT.
And then, I know some people didn't like it, but I enjoyed the way and their shenanigans. We got to see a more comical sports entertainment side of Johnny Gargano.
Cameron Grimes was still holding it down. Dexter Lumis, a very lovable guy.
And when you talk about September 2.0, they had a few weeks where people are like, what the fuck is going on, right? Yeah. But now they're sort of settling into it. Like, okay, you have Braun Breaker, who could be a potential next star. Grayson Waller, what he did on NXT to interrupt Johnny Gargano, great way for Gargano to leave and to pile heat, right? You have like freaking Boa, who apparently has absorbed the powers of Mei Ying and now got face paint. Fucking killing it, man.
Really?
No, he's awful. Like, I thought they killed the Mei Ying gimmick. Oh, at least Boa can move on to something else. No, now he's absorbed Mei Ying's essence, whatever the fuck that means. And now he has the face paint. And he's going out.
Wrong.
Yeah, very wrong. No, I said that.
Okay, so when you say for sure, best show of the year, I think NXT, the brand. 1.0 version or 2.0 combined?
1.0 and 2.0 combined. I think that while 2.0 started off weak, it has a lot of potential. And plus, some of the OGs are still there. You still got Tommaso Ciampa.
So if you can look past like the vomit of like the color vomit, you're saying that they are trying to rebuild and it's gonna take some time, a lot of teething issues, but you think they can get back to the level that they have with the audience previously?
Yes, I do believe so. Yes, they can. Maybe not so polished. It's more of a sports entertainment product more than that's why the colors and everything, right?
Yep.
Versus an indie wrestling show. So, but like you talk about 2021, you're talking about January to September for the Black and Gold brand. And to me, that's a longer period than my second choice. It would have been AEW Dynamite. Because if you think about it, Punk, Bryan Danielson, they only showed up, was it August or September?
August,
right? Like mid-August, right? Yep. So you still have quite a few months before that, like 8 months before that of like, the Young Bucks running roughshod, doing their Young Bucks bullshit, Cody randomly dropping by, feuding with QT Marshall and all that crap.
Yeah, but okay, so the reason I call it for sure best wrestling show of the year is because in my opinion, what constitutes a great wrestling show is for sure I will keep tuning in every week one. For sure and I will keep. So for me, it was AEW Dynamite, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because you're right, they went up on another level when CM Punk came. Bryan Danielson, like the wrestling really got really good.
Yeah.
But the first 8 months, what kept me to the product was I felt like there will always be variety on AEW that I can rely on. It's reliable in that sense. Like there's always something I can look forward to. Even like maybe the main event is featuring someone I didn't really like, but I know there's gonna be like a great Darby Allin feud. Or like if Cody Rhodes is annoying, but I know there's gonna be Miro there. you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So like there was every single month, right? When I was watching AEW this year, there was something I was looking forward to. So whether it was Chris Jericho's 5 labels, that really caught my eye.
Yeah.
I actually looked forward to Blood and Guts before it happened. So you know what I mean? There was of course the death match with Moxley and Omega. Leading up to it, I was very curious to see how it goes. So I think they had the great ability to hook me in. Whether they deliver on certain matches, that is questionable. But the fact that they could keep me hooked in to kind of know what's going on and like be interested, I think that constitutes a great wrestling show lah.
Sure.
Number 2 for me was SmackDown.
Okay, yeah. The Tribal Chief and
yes,
Bloodline, yeah.
everything that SmackDown. Okay, I would say SmackDown has been the least disappointing WWE show this whole year. Like you can always count on anything the Tribal Chief does to be very, very entertaining.
Yeah.
But of course, I also appreciated certain things that SmackDown did, especially I think post draft or even before draft. They had really, really good like mid-cut storylines as well. Because you have to understand, Edge and Seth Rollins happened on SmackDown.
Yep, that's right.
Right? Most of it before the draft anyway. Also at SmackDown, Bianca Belair reigned. So Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, the whole thing happened at SmackDown. Bianca kind of had her title run all the way to SummerSlam before Becky Lynch kind of screwed it up. So I would say in terms of the storylines, it was easier to digest through SmackDown as compared to the other shows for me, in my opinion. So AEW Dynamite, and I think they're going to go up on another level next year for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have too much to argue with that. You know, my second pick was already going to be Dynamite nonetheless. I will say though, like before CM Punk and Bryan Danielson, it was a lot harder for me to watch Dynamite because there was just a lot of shenanigans that was way overbooked and just nonsense lah. But yes, with the additions of Bryan Danielson and CM Punk, definitely must watch TV. Isn't it sad that the flagship show of the WWE is ranked the lowest? I mean, it is, isn't it? It's a chore to watch Raw sometimes. I
have no sympathy if you tell me like, very hard for me to watch Raw. Like, I don't want to watch. Like, I really, you know what? Yeah, completely agree. I also don't care about Raw, but I think it's not the fault of the wrestlers because I think the wrestlers give it their all. Yeah. I know Lashley tried his best to be a dominant champion. Everyone gave it their all, but they just fuck it up with their booking, bro.
Yep. No, I agree with you 100%. So, okay, that being said, where do you think Rampage will sit? Because Rampage started off, I don't know why, but whenever I think of Rampage, I think of WCW Thunder.
Oh, is it?
Because WCW Thunder, they launched it with like, Bret the Hitman Hart's going to be like, you know, the mainstay of this show.
Okay.
So with like, in the same way that, you know, CM Punk was like, CM Punk debuts and then you have like a really good few episodes. And after that, it just keeps going down and down. Like the ratings have been going down and my interest, I completely skipped Rampage this past week, by the way, even though Hook debuted.
Apparently they sent Hook. Hook has been sent.
Like I didn't feel like I had to watch it. Even going through the social media posts, I didn't feel like, I better go and watch. I just watched the social media, the Instagram. Oh, okay, cool. I saw Hook.
At this point in time, Rampage feels like a second-rate show, like a Velocity, or is it still like Raw SmackDown?
It feels like Raw SmackDown, but like the stuff they couldn't fit into Dynamite. You know, like, Dynamite only had time for this, and then the rest, obviously the least important stuff, okay, let's put that on Rampage. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, Rampage came with a lot of hype. Obviously, CM Punk came on Rampage and all that kind of stuff. But now, like you said, looking at the viewership, it's like 500,000, 600,000. They really kind of settled to their hardcore fan base. Yeah. Like, whoever will watch it. But Dynamite is still the main show.
Yeah, it doesn't help that... It doesn't help that it comes up after SmackDown. So your hardcore fan base, your pro wrestling fans, they already had 2 hours of SmackDown. For them to watch 1 more hour is like, a bit much, right? What do you think of this idea, bro? What do you think of this idea? Make it like a live wrestling magazine show.
Or like a bottom line of Velocity like that lah.
Yeah, but okay, like better lah. So you recap a little bit. You recap the main feuds of Dynamite. So if people miss Dynamite, you can watch Rampage, but you also have one mid-card feud match.
But right, bro, you know that next year Dynamite is going to TBS.
Oh yeah.
So Rampage is still staying on TNT.
Yes.
So technically, I would think that they're gonna make Rampage and Dynamite their Raw and SmackDown because they are two major networks, right? Both of them, TBS and like both they're sister channels. But is TNT bigger than TBS? Like I don't know.
Actually, I think TBS is bigger. I'm
TBS
not sure.
Is bigger.
I'm not sure. But then, let's say if TBS is smaller, then they should replay stuff on TNT. You know, just to get people to watch TBS.
Yeah. So like Dynamite will always be their flagship. Yeah. But the fact that they keep the stranglehold on TNT with Rampage, I believe they're still gonna put in effort in Rampage and not like make it purposely a B show. Yeah, but the problem is with that is the timing also. It's already the B show because it comes out after SmackDown. It's not competing with SmackDown, you know? So the fact that it's at 10 p.m. Very
says
hard
it's
to
a big
watch
show.
wrestling at 10 p.m. on a Friday night.
Yeah, people are going out. Especially now that people can go out, people are going out, right?
Oh, Sir who's safe, bro? Please don't be sick. Later cannot see Spider-Man.
Yeah, man.
I'll try. I'm gonna rest after this podcast. But you know what? It's a season finale. I gotta power through for you guys.
That's right. So we have one more award to give away. Match of the year. Here we go. And
Ooh, match of the year.
yeah, I feel like I'm going to be judged for this, but I don't care because to me,
What?
and we've kind of alluded to this earlier. I mentioned this earlier. WWE is the best when they present two top tier stars with a lot of history, a real life animosity as well. You think Brett versus Shawn. You think Rock Austin. Like that one, okay, the real life animosity, not really that bad, but you knew that they have a competitive rivalry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Hogan, Macho Man had a bit of animosity in real life there as well.
Yeah.
That's when they do these things best. Who or which two do you think fit that description best in 2021 for the WWE? Because let's face it, Roman Reigns, even though he had a lot of high level matches, he didn't face somebody that, was his generation or was at his level. He was either going up against part-timers, megastars like Cena and Brock, or Finn, who's not at his level. Let's face it, right? As much as we love Finn Balor, he's not at his level in terms of superstardom. So which two are left?
It's gotta be the girls, right?
You
Okay.
you know the answer to this already. It's not Sasha versus Bianca, by the way. Jade Cargill versus Red Velvet. Stop it lah, Irvin.
Jewels, just stop it or what?
Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Survivor Series. On the face of it, if you think about it, right? Okay, like you mentioned just now, it's brand versus brand. It's very hard to get into it because these days brand versus brand doesn't mean anything at all. But because Becky and Charlotte are arguably top stars, they have had history since NXT. They've main evented WrestleMania. They've had feuds back and forth, one turn on the other, that kind of thing. And you throw in the whole Charlotte is being hard to work with. She dropped the belt during the title handoff segment. Shoot or work, it made it more real. It made it more interesting. It made me want to watch this match, even though it was the opener of Survivor Series. It was the best match of the card for sure. But to me, it was the best match of the year because those two can deliver lah. Even though the ending was a little bit of it was a cheat win. It just sets up for another match down the line, right? And the emotion, the knowledge that these two genuinely don't like each other, or maybe that gives this match the extra sauce, and that to me makes it the match of the year.
I like how your match is really very based on the story and based on the history, and I think anytime you can make it personal in wrestling, I think you have a winner, and I think that's a great point.
Like I said to me, the WWE does their best work when it's a personal story, when there's professional animosity, when you can feel like, oh, is that slap like a little bit too much sauce on that slap? Is she really hitting him? That will be like, oh shit. Okay, just to be clear, my second match of the year, if there was a number 2, would have been Walter Ilya Dragunov, because that match was just fucking hard hitting.
2, right?
Yeah, that one was like, wow, they slapped the shit out of each other. So that would have been my number 2. But to me, on a big stage, big megastar names, this is my match of the year.
It's a great choice. I don't necessarily agree with it.
Sure.
But I think based on the history, I think they will always have great matches with each other, and that animosity will always be there. For me, purely from a wrestling points perspective, from the point of view of a wrestling fan, I'm a huge fan of Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle matches, right? So not really on that level, I must say. But I definitely love Omega versus Bryan Danielson, Otter Ashe Stadium, 30-minute time limit draw. First of all, the anticipation of Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega was amazing going into it. I really wanted to see who the best in the world was, right? At that point in time. And I think the match, they just did a perfect job of the end result. Even though it was a time limit draw, it really put over both men, because like it gave Kenny Omega the ability to still remain a champion without losing credibility. But Bryan Danielson like really came in and made like the best impact possible. First match ever against Bryan Danielson in AEW. Like really set the tone for how is he gonna perform in this company lah. Definitely one of my like match of the year in the sense of like a great wrestling match. I sat through that 30 minutes without feeling like bored or what. I just really wanted to know who was going to win. And you not knowing who's going to win, I think makes a match even more exciting for sure.
Of course, yeah, for sure. Yes. While Foreign clears his nose,
man.
As you're talking about that nose, you were salivating, but from the nose.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, bro.
I wanted to laugh.
But I was salivating at how amazing that match was to me. Genuinely, I really wanted to see a part 2. Like, and I kind of like sided with Bryan Danielson when he went to Hangman and said, you know what? I wish it was Kenny Omega who was still the champion. In a selfish part of me wanted to see that match for the title.
Interesting take on it as well. Like we both have very different sort of like. What we enjoyed was very different lah. You enjoyed the whole dream match scenario, and then them of course putting together a great match. What would have been your second if you had a second?
Okay, if I had to pick somebody from a match from WWE, right? Honestly, I got 2 choices. Both very weird.
Okay.
I remember my favorite match in the whole of WrestleMania being Sasha and Bianca.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that match, yes, they didn't do a good job building up the hype for it. But when the moment arrived and like, the 2 of them standing opposite each other and like the crowd was cheering and then they were like gearing up, like all that made the moment felt like a big match. Okay. Right? And then the last one, third one would probably be Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre Fastlane, bro.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think that they had a great rivalry before the shit went down lah, essentially, right? Between like Drew McIntyre, when he still had some sort of momentum as a champion. Yeah. I really wanted to see both of them actually fight at WrestleMania. Go into WrestleMania for the title. I think they deserve to have that feud because they both are like long-time friends, what? So so that match was really hard-hitting, very underrated. I don't think a lot of people remember that match, but I remember when I watched them, I was like, oh, this is like 2 badasses like beating the hell out of each other. And I love that kind of matches as well.
If you ask me to pick an AEW one, actually this would have been my third on the list, I suppose. Just to, make it very clear that, hey, Mr. Young does watch AEW too, and I can appreciate. MJF versus Darby Allin.
Oh wow, yeah, full gear, right?
Full gear, yeah.
That was such a great, I think, match that showcased the fact that MJF and Darby Allin can both work. They are both great workers as well,
and coupled with a great storyline before as well. So the lead up to it was good.
What was your number 2?
Ilya Dragunov and Walter, just for the pure brutality.
It was very great. It's very interesting if like 3 of us line up our dream matches and side by side against each other. I think our listeners can kind of get to know like what our wrestling preferences are.
And they're all
clear.
Different style of matches, right? Yeah, you can see. Irvin with his suggestions: Cornette versus Meltzer, WWE versus unvaxxed wrestlers. Ayo, stop.
Bro, it's as bad as Jeff Hardy versus Trucks.
Oh God, stop it, stop it, just stop it. There we go. That's the Kick to the Gut Awards for 2021. Thank you so much for your votes for the voting categories. Thanks for hanging out. And you know what? Thank you for being here with us as we, try something different this season. Live streaming. When we first started, we were like, oh, okay, will people come hang out? Is it going to be something we want to do all the time? And you know what? Looking at like the numbers and the growth we've had on our channel, we just want to say thank you. We wouldn't be here if not for you. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, when the pandemic came, we used to do this show like every single week. I would go over to your radio station, bro, Young, and we'll always like have this show recorded during lunchtime and then put it out like later in the day. I think the pandemic forced a lot of people to like kind of pivot in the way they conduct business. And for us, this podcast is like, in our minds, we always wanted to do this podcast no matter what the situation, Even the world is ending, we'll probably be at our house like bunking like, so on this week's Kick to the Gut, probably.
Bro, this is our Thunderdome. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I think we created more than that. I think we created a safe space.
Oh my God! Yes.
For all our like listeners or anyone who enjoy wrestling to kind of hang out and don't feel so awkward. Or like, they can just be themselves and like do wrestling. And the fact that we can do this live show and I can see live reactions of our listeners talking, I think it really makes me happy.
So So, I'm sorry, I keep looking at your nose and it's making me giggle. It's making me giggle, bro. Okay.
That's why I keep doing this. I'm like, okay, don't look at it.
Okay, as we move into the brand new year 2022, like we mentioned at the top of the podcast, more content coming your way. Videos, Discord channel. We'll let you know via our social media. So follow us on Instagram, Kick to the Gut. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel on YouTube here. Hit subscribe and do us a favor as well. It's a simple click for you, but for us, it means the world, okay? Hit that like button as well. Help push us up in terms of the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Show your support by just one click. One click already can push us up the algorithm.
Bro, our goal next year, 1,000 YouTube subscribers.
Let's go.
I know it's possible, bro, because I think there's more than 1,000 wrestling fans in Singapore, right?
I think so too. So let's go. Like we mentioned, we will be taking a 2-week break to refresh things and maybe Foreign can wipe his nose.
I will recover. Hopefully, this is nothing COVID related, no lah. Choi. But
Rishi, that is on our heads as well. It's an idea that we are, thinking of for 2022. Maybe a watch along. We go and watch WrestleMania together or something like that.
Hangout.
Yes.
Like me and Young were talking about like how it would be so fun if we can just do like a group hang. If the situation allows itself. If there's no like restrictions on how many people can hang out. Maybe like book a place or like and then just like really play out like WrestleMania or whatever it is, hang out together and watch.
Bro, that's the thing with WWE pay-per-views, right? They are like in the freaking morning for us. So we need to wait for Saudi Mania. Then we can do it time.
If we watch a AEW event like a Double or Nothing and that's a Sunday morning.
Father, Sunday morning, who want to wake up to watch wrestling?
Okay, but the thing is,
and go out.
There won't be a very, very easy, timing that works for everyone.
True.
But we'll try to find. If not, right, we'll still live stream the entire thing. I think it'll be interesting.
Wrestle Kingdom. Actually,
oh no, yes, Wrestle Kingdom as well. Hey, but first episode of season 5, we're probably gonna do it on the first week of the new year.
Yep.
Definitely we're gonna have day 1 to talk about, Wrestle Kingdom to talk about. I think look out for season 5 in 2 weeks' time, right?
Yeah. So first episode will be a review of day 1. Maybe it'll be the era of Brock Lesnar as Universal Champion, who knows? Plus, yes, we will preview Wrestle Kingdom. It's going to be an interesting preview because I haven't watched New Japan in so long. I'm going to have no idea who anybody is.
Bro, Wrestle Kingdom, sorry for our New Japan fans who are listeners. It's our once a year where we catch up with New Japan and see what the hell is going on over there. And I still keep my ear to the ground. I still kind of see what's happening. But like, I think we can safely say we are casual fans to New Japan in terms of how we follow the product.
Yes.
But what I wanted to say was, even though we're taking a 2-week break, we are not really going to stop posting content. Our IG stories, our daily IG stories is still going to be there. We plan to what we're going to do is going to in the time slot that we usually put our live streams next week, we're going to put out a YouTube video on a topic. So it's either we're going to probably do a roundup of our Kick to the Gut awards, and also the last week of December, we're going to put out another special video to like celebrate the end of the year. So just keep subscribe to the YouTube channel and like just keep yourself notified if you put out any videos.
Exactly. You'll hear about it once we put out these videos because we'll update our socials. But yeah, hit subscribe already if you haven't, and click on the bell on the notify so you'll get a notification when you get a new video uploaded. So okay, that being said, have a great rest of the year, everybody. Thank you so much for being here.
Wait, one more thing.
One more thing. Okay,
one more thing. I think we should shill it out right now, put it out in the open for all our listeners, and then we'll have more information for you in the new year.
Yes.
In line for season 5, we've already built it up. We've already started a Patreon account.
That's right. With many tiers of interesting extra content that you can access, extra perks that you can access. So we'll have more details and links and everything on the channel when it is like fully set up. But yes, that is on the horizon as well for season 5. Like I said, look forward to more content, more wrestling stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the link to the Patreon is actually already on our description boxes for our YouTube description. You can click down, you can check it out. You can see the various tiers. It's a way, if you enjoy what we do and you love what we do and you want to feel like you're a part of like helping us grow, please please feel free to pledge your support. Like I said, there's a lot of different tiers with different perks. And like Mr. Young already mentioned, Discord channel, other things that we want to offer to people who want to contribute to what we do. Internet connection will help be greatly improve with all your support as well. Thank you very much.
For sure. Okay, have yourselves a great rest of the year. Any upcoming projects you want to share with people?
Oh wow. Okay.
Music.
Yes, of course. For those of you who know that I do rap on the side, I really enjoy doing music. And I put out a single last month, Deadlock, right? I'm actually gonna put out a new song in the new year as well. So look out for it. Music video all done, single all recorded. So look up for more new foreign music and something wrestling related. Unnamed local wrestler has approached me.
Okay.
To ask and record a theme song for them.
Really?
Woo! So I'm very much hoping that local wrestling comes back in the new year so that I might be able to perform it for the wrestler and for the audience.
Live! Walao, bro.
Let's make it happen, man. Let's make
go.
it happen.
Let's go. Okay, great things to look out for. On my end, as usual, you can come check me out on Twitch, twitch.com/MrYoung98. And I play video games. We're going to hang out before Christmas as well, do something fun. So, more live streaming on my end. But once again, to our Kick to the Gut fam, thanks for being here. We'll see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks will go by very fast, one. Okay, trust us. We'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back.
You guys will be busy doing all your holiday stuff and celebrating end of the year.
Relax.
We got time for us, man. Don't worry.
So please relax. Take this time off to find yourself, whatever the hell that means, and surround yourself with lots of love. Okay.
Yeah, man, of course, bro. And of course, next season, let's hope that we get the chance to interview wrestlers again.
Yep.
We get the chance to go hang out and watch live wrestling again by the two promotions. We will definitely try to be there, and we hope to meet you guys. And like I said, you want to do a meet and greet, we'll definitely set something up. Please tune in and keep supporting the channel, man.
Yes, we promise that Foreign's nose won't be leaking when we do the meet and greet.
Inshallah. Promises.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of the 2021 and stay safe, everybody. Bye-bye. It's Mr. Young.
And it's far in the building. End of the year. Enjoy.